Today we are going to learn how to connect the pneumatics for the VEX Robotics. We are going to use the following circuit. We are going to use a reservoir, we are going to use a on-off valve, we are going to use a pressure valve, and we are going to use here a 5 two-way valve with a solenoid and our cylinder. Before to start, we are going to learn to use this one. It's the most important, is the valve. As you can see here in our simulator, I have one representation of this, how this one works. Actually, the name is 5, 2. 5 means that have 5 connectors, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 here. And as you can see here, in the real one, we have 1, 2, and in the other side, we have 3, 4, and 5 connectors. Actually, we are going to use just 3. Let's see how this one works. And the name of the valve is 5-2. That means that we have 2 positions. This is going to be one position, and this is going to be the second position. What we have here is how the air is going to take the path through. The air is going to come from here. That means it's coming from here for this part, and they have the option to be in this position and go out for this one. Or if this one move, let's see how this one move here. If this one move, I'm gonna be in the second position. I'm gonna be able to use this path. Imagine, first I will go from here, the air comes here and go out for this. And if you have air coming through, we'll go for this path. But if I change the state, I'm gonna go through this one and I'm gonna go out for the point number 2. Let's see how this one works in the connection with our pneumatics. How is? Okay, I have one system here connected. I need to stop here. I'm gonna connect the output to our regulator valve. That means we are joining here the output for the regulator, and this is gonna be connected in the input of the solenoid. It's going to. Actually, what I did there was just sending the air through this. In our cylinder, we are going to have 2 connectors. One connector and the second one. In this position, I'm going to use this one here. And I'm going to plug the second one in the next one. Let me find a bigger one, longer one. I have a longer one here. Perfect. We did the connector, and I'm gonna check here the same connector in the simulation. One here and the other. What do we expect? Let's see. What is gonna happen if the air is coming from here, go through the regulator, and after goes through the valve. Is in this position, in this section, the air is gonna come from here, here, enter, and move all the piston to the left. If I change the position of the solenoid, just sending a signal, for instance, in this case, I'm gonna do it in a mechanic way, place, and immediately what happens is the air comes from here, change the direction, move through the other part, and move the piston outside of the oil cylinder to the right. That is the way that this one is going to be working. How to do the connector? Okay, let's see here in our elements how we are going to. For our elements, what I need to do is connecting. Let's see if I have here something more. I'm going to connect here the output of the reservoir. Here is the tank where we are going to storage all the air. We are going to use the on-off valve, and just be careful with this one. This have a small arrow here. That means that the air come through in this way. If you connect in the other way, it's going to be a problem. It's not going to work. Should be the input in this side. I'm going to place. If I place here, now the air is coming from here. And at this position, it's going to be closed. Not air is going through. If I open the there is gonna be true. Okay, let me continue, and I'm gonna connect from here to the regulator. This one more. Perfect, we got this. Probably, let me see, if we can find another smaller. Okay, I can't find it smaller here, but the last part that I have to do is just pump up our tank. What I'm gonna do is I have this in my kit. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect one side to avoid that the air come out, and the other one is gonna be here to pump. Last step, I'm gonna pump. Now my tank have all the air. Let's close this one, let's close this one, and well, you can see what is happening at this point. If I open, as you notice here, if I open, the air come from here, go up, and now it's going through this part, moving our piston oxide to the right. Second part, what we need to do now is using the brain to control when it's going to be out and when it's going to be in. For that, I'm going to check here in my browser. I'm going to find VEX code, and we are going to set up the output of our brain. I'm going to turn on this. I'm going to plug the connector. This one should be in just one side, one direction. This one is going to be any input. I'm going to select A, and just be careful. This one has just one position that is going to be through the connector. It's going to be in this way. Just to be sure, the white wire should be top, facing top. Okay. Now that I did the connections, what we are going to do is I'm going to connect my brain. Perfect, it's connected. Now I'm going to add the port. It's port A. I'm going to select here 3 wire, and I'm going to say digital out. It was connected on port A, digital out A, done, and it's ready to do the program that we want. I'm gonna do just one testing here, making that the piston, yeah, take out and in. I'm gonna say control forever loop, and I'm gonna say here sensing here to find digital out. I'm gonna say low. Yeah, I'm gonna select that wait 1 second, and after I'm gonna say go high 1 second. What I expect is that big 1 second out, 1 second in. Let's try. I'm gonna download this one on the slot 3. Download. Okay, I'm gonna save this one in my download, VEX project. Let's see, we're gonna run the circuit. Just I'm gonna hold from here. And it's moving in and out. Okay, what we have here is the following. After you notice, this one is not going through completely. Okay, what we can do is change the time. I'm going to say here 3 seconds and 3 seconds. That is one way to solve the problem, but there is another way. play. Okay, it's in one position. Now it's going in and going out. What is happening at this point is that the air is going out too slow. We can change this when changing for our cylinder. Yeah, if we use this kind of cylinders, these kind of cylinders doesn't have the air out control. We're gonna test this one and see what is happening. I need to close the air, and after closing the air, I'm gonna swap the cylinder for this one that doesn't have the out control. I'm gonna place this one here, and you are gonna notice how the response is gonna be immediately. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go back to the 1 second. Yeah, after you notice they go faster and strong. You can use your valve to control the pressure. If you release here, you are gonna notice how the pressure of my cylinder is changing. Okay, it's almost finishing the air in this point. We have finished all the setup, but maybe you say I want to connect another cylinder. Yeah, if I want to connect another cylinder, what I have to do is just use another solenoid. I'm gonna use the same connectors. Nothing special, just the same connectors, and we can connect this one in our brain. I'm gonna use the port, for instance, D. Okay, it's kind of messy here, but I have my second piston here, and we need to provide this one with air. How to provide this one with air? We can use a special connector. It's like a T, and this connector is gonna allow me to split the air. Okay, I'm gonna split the air, and the air that is coming out from here, yeah, now it's gonna be through this and through this. Notice air come from here, and finally from here. And of course we can modify. I'm gonna add another device, 3 wire, digital out, and was port D, done. And I'm gonna duplicate this part. Actually what I want, just both of them working at the same time. Actually I'm gonna swap, and I'm gonna say one is gonna be high and the other is gonna be low. Low, high. Here is gonna be high, D, and D is gonna be low. Okay, let's see what happened here. Turn that and start. You're gonna notice that one of them should be moving faster than the other. I'm gonna open the air, and no, definitely I don't have more air. I have to pump up. Close, and we're gonna stop for a second. All right, we have here both cylinders working as we expect. Okay, that is all.